What's up, guys? Welcome. We have the whole crew on our video show. It is so awesome to see everybody here, including the really entertaining names of Courteous Llama and Understanding Alpaca, Compassionate Fox, Considerate New, and we have the Amiable Caribou. Welcome.
Thank you.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
So on today's very exciting and very technically challenging show. I mean, this is no easy feat to get a big video call going like this. We're going to talk about our Quarantips. So our best tips for staying healthy, staying sane, physically, mentally, keeping ourselves strong and healthy and well during this very challenging time for all of us. So I want your best. I don't want to hold back. I don't want a bunch of random, boring stuff. Give us the good tips, what you're doing to stay sane and healthy during the quarantine. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
You start.
Well, we were talking the other day how interesting it is. What we do every day is look after people and get them feeling better, and that's such a give back. It's such a give back job that we have. And I know for myself personally, a lot of what makes me happy in my day, well, 90% of what makes me happy is caring for patients and getting people through their health issues and through their health challenges. So it's been hard to feel as great when I'm not working on patients every day. We are seeing a few, and we're very grateful to see those folks. But for me, a big part of my challenge has been the mental health piece. So I am a poor meditator, as many of my patients and everyone already knows. I'm not great at it. I'm better at exercising, which is a huge piece for me, of just getting out fresh air and getting a run in or getting a walk in. That's been a big part of feeling better. But also for me, it's just been there's one particular person I'm going to recommend. Her name is Tara Brach, Brach. You can Google her. She leads a bunch of short online meditations that are free. She also just did a podcast on the pandemic and sort of some of the mental health issues in regards to that, which was extremely helpful to go through, and it helped me a lot. So Tara Brach, doing her 5 to 10 minute daily meditations on really staying positive and working through the pandemic, and that's helping me a lot.
I was just reading that when we think about immune strength and we think about really creating this strong, healthy body, one of the biggest factors in our immune response is our stress response. So the more stressed we are, the lower our immune response is, right? It just kind of like it's because we kick into fight or flight mode, and then it's like cortisol and all that, adrenaline and all that stuff. And meditation, I think, is one of the slam dunk ways. I mean, all the studies, all the science tells us what a huge benefit it can be. And it doesn't need to be 30 minutes, or it doesn't need to be an hour. To your point, it could be a 5-10 minute thing, and find someone who you really like, who you vibe with, who has a great energy, and do it every day, because you can do 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, Insight Timer is what I use, Insight Timer, and then there's calm.com as well. But Insight Timer is great. I mean, it's free. You can choose any length you want. And for me, really choosing a voice or a leader that doesn't annoy me. I know that sounds terrible, but someone I can listen to. And it is. I mean, it's one of the key ways not to get caught by this virus is to stay healthy, especially when we're not doing what we normally do. We're off our normal routines. We're off our normal work patterns. We're not socializing with our friends anymore. I mean, it's really, really, I think, vital right now.
Great tip. I love it. All right. Who's up next? Quarantip number 2.
I'll go. So what I've been doing, I've been sticking on the Quince Protocol, which we're all real big believers in here. Just staying hyperhydrated. That's what's going to ultimately help you recover a lot faster. But something that I've been taking that's just kind of been very helpful for me and just kind of giving me that little extra push has been camu powder. So this is powder right here. It's camu fruit is a very small citrus fruit. It's a very high density of vitamin C. So obviously we all know vitamin C is helpful for our immunity. It just kind of helps kick that sickness before it even starts. So there's many times where I come to the office and I might be a little congested just from sleeping funky the night before, and I'll take a little scoop of that and just shoot it with a little bit of water, and it makes me feel like better immediately. Like my congestion goes away, and then after about an hour or two, I'm feeling really normal after that. So that, and on top of that, I'll also use like some CBD rub. Just rub that on my sinuses if they're getting a little bit congested as well. I've got some really bad sinuses; they don't drain as well as they should. So those are two things that really help keep my nasal passages open and help me breathe clearly.
Does that
Nice.
Camu powder, does it have a taste, or does it taste like anything, or is it tasteless?
It tastes like it's a little bit citrusy. It's kind of slightly sweet, but nothing. It's not too wild. It's pretty mild actually. There's no bitterness to it. There's no real bad taste at all. Like most people that have it, especially if they need it, it tastes pretty enjoyable.
I like putting it in
Sounds
tea.
good.
I've been putting it in my tea at work, and I've been a huge fan of that. Some like berry tea, it mixes really well together. So I'm also a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I
Nice.
found
That
it works
sounds good.
really well with coconut water too.
Coconut water. Yeah, that's super hydrating probably. And some electrolytes.
Totally.
Genius. Great corn tip. Corn tip number 3.
Well, who's go? I'll go. All right.
You go.
So kind
All right, too.
I'm gonna go. All right. So based on kind of building off what Lee was saying, the Quince Protocol, I think that's something that we're all doing as docs here, something that we've really found beneficial for us. Another thing, pretty simple hydration wise, that I do every day is a noon tablet. Got them here. Can kind of show that there. You can pick those up at most stores. I know that's something that a lot of us use as well. And it's just really simple, great tasting thing that you can add to your water that has a bunch of electrolytes in it, and just really helps, with like muscle recovery, not only with the hydration as well. So that's something that I've been using a lot. Also from a supplement standpoint, like very simply things that you can do to boost your immune system, like that most people know is vitamin D. That's a good thing to be taking in right now. And then also zinc. That's another big one that I've been taking for a while now. That's one that I take normally, but that is a great one to start supplementing a little bit more now. And then third, obviously being a CrossFitter and everything like that, the gyms are closed, which is tough, but I just want to emphasize the point that it's great to get outside as much as you can, even if it's just going for a walk, something simple like that. It's good to get outside, get some fresh air in, obviously keep your social distancing as a part of that. But then also, if you can look online, there's a lot of great resources on Instagram, other gyms. CrossFit Industrious is posting workouts all the time that you can do with body weight or minimal equipment at home. So it's really great to take a look at those and realize that you do have resources to be able to use at home that can help you out, do some workouts, keep your body strong, keep your mind right, and everything like that. And that's definitely something that I would recommend as well. Is it's tough to get that exercise in now because we don't have gyms, but there are resources to be able to do it. And it's a great time to work on that. So.
Yeah, that's really good. And that kind of feeds in. Go ahead, Annie.
Oh, just a note on what Tim was saying in regards to dosage. Most adults, 5,000 units of vitamin D a day. For vitamin C, it's the bowel tolerance. Most adults should be able to take around 5,000 of vitamin C a day easily. And then for zinc, therapeutic dose of zinc is between 50 and 90 milligrams a day of zinc. So that's kind of the dosage lines that you should be taking really every day during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Are there any other nutrients or minerals that we'd throw in the mix to say we should be taking those right now?
Mushrooms. There's certainly, there's reishi
Psychedelic
mushrooms. Yeah, reishi mushrooms got a lot of research about it for your lung health. And then there's a few different mushroom blends which are shown to be very, very helpful for your immune system.
Yeah.
I love it.
Those are the big ones.
I'll piggyback off of Tim's point of fitness, because I think one of my corn tip is right into the fitness game. So if you missed the window to get home gym gear, it can be very hard to find right now. It's basically sold out pretty much everywhere. So some of the challenges are like, well, what do I do to work out if I don't have gear ahead of time, or I don't have a treadmill, I don't have something? And there are a lot of great apps out there. I've been using the Peloton app, which is normally a paid service, but they're offering, it's like free right now for everybody. And I highly recommend it. Like, it has totally been uplifting to me to get on these workouts. And there's something about these instructors are very, very positive. They're very real. They have a lot of different stuff, indoor runs if you have a treadmill, outdoor runs if you don't, body weight, core work. If you do have some dumbbells or some kettlebells around, they have stuff for those as well. If you have a bike, obviously they have biking routines, but they've been amazing. We had this old beat up treadmill that I got for like $100, and basically like half of it doesn't work, but the belt moves and it goes up and down for inclines. And I'll tell you, I've been able to get some really great 20-30 minute runs with that Peloton app pushing me and getting off, not just feeling physically better, but feeling like emotionally and mentally and spiritually kind of uplifted. So I think it's really great. I would highly recommend it. I see why people freak out about the Peloton stuff now, because the instructors are really good and it's really, really uplifting.
Yeah. Nice.
I would say kind of piggyback off that for apps. Not on the exercise side, but the food side, I'd say I'm definitely a boredom eater. Lots of accidents during this quarantine. My fitness pal, is great. It's a good way just to kind of track calories. Just a good way. You can do water intake, you can do weightlifting, you can do cardio. You can pay extra and do like the macros. I personally don't do that. I don't know what they have. It's enough for what I need. It's just a good way to kind of keep track and make sure that, like me, who accidentally ate a whole box of brownies in 2 days, that I'm not doing that anymore. Just a good app overall. Once again, it's free, and I've used it for years, just kind of on and off, and I really like it.
Yeah, somebody told me this the other day, and some people might find this funny, some people might find this offensive, but you know how they have that saying, like when you go to college, you pack on the freshman 15. Somebody's like, during quarantine, you pack on the COVID-19. like it's easy to gain a bunch of weight.
Noisy chihuahua, sorry.
It's okay. We're gonna mute you.
What is that?
We're gonna find a new, and we're gonna mute. Oh, I can't mute. Oh yeah, geez, that is a savage beast. But I think this felt like really, really good.
Jeez.
Oh.
What a cutie.
I would definitely agree that I have been a lot more since this quarantine, just because I get bored. I have free time. I'm like, oh, I've never made bread or like homemade donuts before. This sounds like a great idea. There's only 2 of us who live there, and neither one of us have self-control. And we're like, do we just eat all those? That's definitely a problem. But it's fun to do. So I'm like, oh, let me make something else. And it's just a terrible overall process. Great, but terrible at the same time. So my fitness pal, once again, is an excellent way to kind of track that, kind of hold the brakes on yourself a little bit.
I do think too, on that tip and just on that point, it is a fun time to explore new recipes and maybe try new things. Like we got a sous vide cooker a bit back, and I found this recipe to make sous vide beeswax bourbon that then you turn into a beeswax bourbon old fashioned. Nice. And I made it, and it is insanely good. You actually sous vide the bourbon and the beeswax pellets together for like 2 hours. Then you freeze the whole thing, decant the bourbon off, and the beeswax like freezes out of it. And it is so rich and flavorful. It is crazy. Nice. So, and I don't put that into my fitness pal because it's alcohol, so it doesn't count. Calorie free. We all know that.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, Ashley, what's your corn tip?
I mean, everybody had really great corn tips. I'm a quencher for sure. So, and all the physical stuff that everybody's mentioning, like obviously having a lot of time on our hands can be both a good thing and a bad thing. So I wanted to just touch upon like having a schedule. For all of us, it's actually really nice because we're still, coming into work and we kind of still have that sense of normalcy. But for other folks who can't work, it can be tough to have so much time in your hands and feel like, there's nothing to do and kind of get into that depressive state of, oh gosh, like this kind of sucks. So I think it's really important to just stay, on a routine, wake up at a certain time, go to sleep at a certain time. And I know for a lot of the younger folks, we're, waking up really late, going to sleep really late, and that kind of throws off the circadian rhythms and kind of just like throws off your entire body's balance. And I kind of found myself falling into that a little bit as well. So kind of just setting time during your day to, go on walks, Eating, especially, I feel like when people just don't have a schedule, your body doesn't know when it wants to eat, or we're eating too little or eating too much. And so kind of keeping your body balanced that way. For me, I like to go on a lot of walks during the day, and also keep myself sane by keeping in touch with people. I think having a support system, whether it's friends, family, people that you haven't talked to in a long time. A friend of mine called it, she becomes a professional walker and phone talker. So, being socially distant and getting that physical exercise and also being in contact with people, I think is hugely important. I know for me, I'm FaceTiming with family and friends all the time. It's a great way to kind of keep that support system going, especially in this crazy time. And so, tips like that, it's really important to really just be, in touch with everybody, especially during this time, and also being in touch with your body. So just emphasizing that mental aspect, I think, can be really helpful.
Yeah,
I love that FaceTime tip. I mean, in the video call tip, we do happy hour every night with with somebody like a different friend, a family member, relative, and we'll kind of clink glasses together and have some wine together or whatever. Or tea. If you like tea, you can do it at happy hour with tea, although it's not as good. But it is really important to do that. And I think that's such a good point that you're bringing up, is like, use the technology to stay connected. It really does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it really does.
that something like this has to bring everybody together. But I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah, I feel like we've done more group meetings with my family spread all over the place, Europe, Switzerland, Germany, California. And we've actually met more frequently than we did before. Now that we're like saying, oh, let's have a virtual happy hour, right? It's really been fun and actually kind of amusing in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting new way to connect.
Yeah, the other tip I'd throw out there too is, if possible, like if you're in a position to, continue to find your local businesses to support. It's especially challenging because, from a financial standpoint, pretty much everybody's feeling a hurt. There's a big pinch. There's, in many cases, people have lost jobs or been furloughed. And at the same time, like, we have these incredible local businesses, our business being one, restaurants being another. So many of my favorite restaurants are closed already. The few that are left, I feel like a moral obligation to like keep them alive by like at least once a week, trying to get some kind of takeout to support them and support the people who are working there so that they can continue to do the awesome stuff. And we have great places to go to once this whole thing wraps up.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
I'd also say, as far as like restaurants and stuff go to, another thing to take into consideration is a blood shortage in the area. Obviously, hospitals are overpacked. A lot of people are in need. So if you guys are able to and willing to, I'd definitely say get on the Red Cross website, find somewhere that has a drive going, and definitely donate if you can. I know they have a crazy shortage going on in Seattle right now. Just something else to kind of think about. If you want to go for a drive, a walk somewhere, might as well make it for a good cause.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Blood drive, food, helping out the kids. I mean, I knew that there was a lot of kids in need, but I guess I wasn't fully aware that our school system completely feeds so many children in our district here, and it's just such a vital service that we continue to give to those people and help out. It's harder to volunteer, certainly, than it used to be. We can't go and put our bodies in the food bank anymore, but we can certainly give financially if we can and continue to support. There's a lot of work that needs to happen.
So true. No, so good. Well, guys, these are awesome Quarantips. And I think the point that we're finding ways to be creative, to be connected, to strengthen each other, and to believe in what's possible, and to believe we're going to get through this, even as we recognize the challenge that's in front of us. It's not like we're pretending things aren't hard, but we're also digging deep and realizing we can make it to the other side. And so these are awesome tips. And thanks everybody for finding time in the day-to-day to get together and share these tips. We will be happy to share this video on Facebook and get it up on YouTube and get it captioned so people can read along with some of this great stuff that we got going on. But man, thank you guys for being there. Thanks for keeping people out of the ER, out of the hospitals, and for providing a really essential service right now for people's well-being. And appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Barry.
Appreciate you, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Awesome, guys. All right, well, let's talk later. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Be safe, and we'll talk with you soon.
All right, guys.
Good.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.
Bye.